Good afternoon, all. Welcome to Amigos IAS. Just a while ago, the paper 1 for UPSC Preliminary 2025 has been done. And as part of the answer discussion program, I am here to discuss the history section for you all. And I hope that you all have performed well in the examination. But before we go into discussing the answer key for each of the individual questions, let us analyze history section as a whole, considering three parameters. One, what was the weightage that history has got this year? Second, what was the level of difficulty of the questions? And third, what was the distribution across the different components? That is, how many questions we got from ancient and medieval, from modern, etc. So taking the history subject as a whole, we have got 15 questions, which is a very decent range that is expected, because every year in the last 10 years, if you take an average, it's always been between 15 to 20. So 15 is a very decent number of questions. On the second parameter, the level of difficulty, usually it used to be a mixture of a good number of difficult questions, some medium questions, and very little or very few easy questions. What do we really mean by easy, medium, and difficult questions? By easy questions, we simply mean that those questions for which we find answers ready-made in your standard textbooks like NCERTs and any other book, and which are very, very straightforward. There is no twisting and torting there. Whereas when you come to medium level questions, what do we really mean by that is, the question is familiar to you, it has come from a source that we all read, but then there is some additional facts that they'll try to confuse you. And difficult ones, I mean such questions for which you generally do not find an answer in the commonly available sources that we get in the market. Fine. But this year, UPSC has again shown that it is unpredictable in nature by giving you most of the questions. Out of 12 questions, I will categorize them, nearly 10 of them as easy, 2 or 3 of them as medium, only 1 or 2 as difficult. So any well-read person who has done their work properly, read the basic books, in my opinion, out of 15 questions, 12 questions, they should definitely get it right. And even the 3 questions that I'm saying are slightly on the difficult side. If you can play safe, you can actually leave those questions. And 12 questions into 2 marks, if you're going to get right each of them, 24 marks straight away you're going to get here. So clearly, one thing we can understand is that the cutoffs are going to definitely be high, not on the last year's trends, because last year the cutoff was quite low. Fine. So with this basic introduction for the history section, let us now go into the individual questions and look into the answers. And here the sessions is not meant to give a great description about each of these things. This is only a ready reckoner for you all to understand how many questions you've got right, where you've got right and wrong and all. Okay, so let us start off with the first question. I am dealing with the set A. Out of the 4 sets, we are using set A, and the questions from 11 to 20 are covering history questions, and the questions 71 to 74 and the 78th question. So on the whole, 15 questions. Let us see them one by one very fastly. The first question is on modern India. 11th question. It is about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and such a straightforward question, you can't ask for an easier one. Okay. There are 2 statements given. He possessed great love and respect for the traditional philosophical systems of the East. Of the East means we, Indian. The West means the Westerners, the Britishers. So definitely, he had a great liking for this country's civilizations, although he was very much aware of some defects that in our culture. So that makes the statements 1 correct. Second, he desired his countrymen to accept the rational and scientific approach and the principle of human dignity and social equality of all men and women. As I said, a very, very easy question, straightforward question, and straight away the answer will be both 1 and 2, that is C is your answer. So let us go to the second question now. Now here you find a question from modern India, and this time it is from the non-cooperation movement. The question is given you 4 points and asking you which of these were a part of the non-cooperation program. So let us see them one by one. Boycott of law courts and foreign cloth. Now the very word of the movement is saying that non-cooperation. So clearly, non-cooperation involves boycott of law courts and foreign cloth. Next, observation of strict non-violence. Now the moment you take Gandhi is definitely going to talk about non-violence. So that will also be a part of the program. Third, retention of titles and honors without using them in public. Now, that was not a part of this program because if it was non-cooperating with the British means it was even boycotting the titles as well. Okay. But then look at the fourth one, establishment of panchayats for settling disputes. Now, this was also a very important thing because when you're boycotting law courts, then you should have an alternative place where you will settle disputes, right? And that will be panchayats. And we all know Gandhi has always been associated with the local level panchayats. And Article 40 in the Indian Constitution also has been introduced because of Gandhi's affinity towards panchayats. So even fourth statement is correct. So only one statement doesn't fit into the program, that is the third statement. So the answer for this will be only 3. Moving on to the next question. The irrigation device called Araghatta was, and again, what should I say about this? This is a repeated question. If anyone has done the previous PYQs, that's a common thing any teacher tells in the classroom, that if you have done this, it's a direct thing that you need not even think about it. It is some kind of a irrigation device that's given in the question itself. The straightforward answer is B, a large wheel with earthen pots tied to the outer ends of its spokes. Now, if you can visualize that, a huge wheel having some spokes from within, and at the outer end of the spokes, you will have some pots. And when that wheel is rotated, it is going to pick up water from a lower level and transfer it to a higher level. This was also called as Persian wheel, and this was coming from the medieval times. So this is one of the questions that came from medieval India. Next, another question is 14th is from ancient India. Let us see that. Who among the following rulers in ancient India had assumed the titles Matta Vilasa, Vichitra Chitra, Chitta, and Gunabhara? Now, slightly difficult, but then I'll say still you can make an intelligent guess because there is a person in Pallava dynasty called the ruler Mahendra Varman I. He had written a book called Matta Vilasa Prahasana. Now, that's very, very clearly written there. And he is also having this title, Vichitra Chitta. So from those two, even if you do not know Gunabhara, you can actually, based on those two, you can easily mark the answer as Mahendra Varman. So this question is coming from ancient Indian Pallava dynasty. A straightforward question. You cannot afford to miss it. 15th question, again straightforward from ancient India. It's about a foreign traveler who came to India, Chinese foreign traveler who came to India in the ancient times during the Gupta rule. Now he's asking, the UPSC is asking, during exactly the rule of which king? The answer is Farhin has come during the rule of Chandragupta II. It's a straightforward question that you cannot afford to miss it. Next, 16th question is again coming from medieval India. Who among the following led a successful military campaign against the kingdom of Srivijaya, the powerful maritime state which ruled Malay Peninsula, Sumatra, Java and neighboring islands? Now, Srivijaya is a dynasty or a kingdom that ruled in the southeastern part of Asia. That is the Indonesia, Malaysia and all. The question is asking which of the Indian king kind of launched a military campaign against that dynasty. Again, a very simple question. If anyone has done some basic reading of the Chola dynasty, you would directly mark Rajendra I without even a hesitation at all. Okay. Again, as I said, these things really do not require much explanation because the questions are on an easier side this time. Next question is from ancient India again. With reference to the ancient India 600 to 322 BCE, consider the following pairs. They have given you match the following type of a question where they have given you 4 territorial regions and what is the river, the corresponding river that is flowing in that region. Now, all the 4, if you observe, are nothing but your Mahajanapadas. Out of 16 Mahajanapadas, they've asked you 4. And this based on some basic logic of where the rivers are located from your geography knowledge. You can easily identify whether these things are located on that particular river or not. Now, Asmaka, any student who has seen a map of Mahajanapadas will be able to easily tell Asmaka is coming in the Deccan region and Godavari is a river where that's definitely flowing through that region only. So answer Asmaka and Godavari matching is correct. Kamboja and Vipas. Now some people might tend to get confused over here, but if you know that the present day river called Bias was called as Vipas in ancient times, then again there is a full chance that you will get that question correct. Kamboja is one of the northernmost Mahajanapadas if you see the map of the 16 Mahajanapadas. That's also right. Avanti is a Mahajanapada which is located in the Madhya Pradesh region. But then, from commonsensical knowledge from our geography, we know that Mahanadi is a river that flows in Odisha. So that cannot be a correct match. So C is wrong. 3 is wrong. And Koshala was a Majanapada in UP area, that is near the Ayodhya river. And Sarayu is one river that is a tributary of Ganga, and that actually goes by that area only. So clearly that's making 1, 2 and 4 correct, which means only 3 is wrong, which means answers will be only 3 statements are correctly matched. Fine. Next question. Now this is, as I said, of all these questions, I will put this as one slightly difficult question because it's coming from art and culture, and only one question hardly we can see from art and culture, properly from art and culture. Okay. Here, it's a very factual question. Really, we cannot do much over here. It's better in the examination. It would be better to leave such questions, because if you have not heard of a Gandharva Mahavidyalaya, then it's no use trying to attempt that question and get a negative mark over there. Okay. So the first Gandharva Mahavidyalaya music training school was set up in 1901 by Vishnu Digambar Paluskar. Answer is Lahore. But then, as I said, it's a very factual question. Even if you miss such a thing, no need to worry, because most of the people who are going to see that, they're definitely going to get wrong in case they'll try to attempt such a kind of a question, which is not coming from a standard source that you read. Next one is again from ancient India, and a very straightforward question from Mauryan Empire, talking about Ashoka's administration system. The question mentions 3 important officials called Pradeshika, Rajuka and Yukta. And they're asking at what level these officers were working in the administration. Again, a straightforward answer is the district level administration. Okay, because if you'll see at the even more lowest level, you will find some people like Gopa and Stanika. They are at the almost the sub-district level. Okay, these people are functioning mainly at the district level. Next, a question again from modern India with respect to non-cooperation movement. Let us see the 2 statements and asking which of them are correct. The Congress declared attainment of Swaraj by all legitimate and peaceful means to be its objective. Yes, because in this session, in this non-cooperation movement, there was a session that was held in 1920 in Nagpur, where Gandhi took up the Congress manifesto, the party's manifesto or constitution, and he made an amendment to it, saying that instead of using constitutional means to attain Swaraj, he changed those words to legitimate and peaceful means. And he is indirectly giving an indication to the British government that I will not do violence, but I will do mass movements against you. So that's definitely a correct statement. Second sentence, it was to be implemented in stages with civil disobedience and non-payment of taxes for the next stage. Only if Swaraj did not come within a year and the government resorted to repression. As simple as that. Again, non-cooperation movement had 2 stages. One stage will be non-cooperation. The second stage, which will be more intensified, will be the civil disobedience stage. But then the second stage, which will involve violation of laws and non-payment of taxes, would be implemented only in case the government does not respond positively to the first stage of non-cooperation. So that makes the second statement also to be correct. So the answer will be for 20th question will be C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. And after this, this set of 10 questions, we again directly in the set 1, it is only from 71, I think. Yeah, 71 that we get some history questions again. Now, there is a statement being given by Gandhi during the national movement, and they're asking during which period did he give this slogan? Like, sedition has become my religion. Now, sedition means refer to any kind of activity that goes against the government. So, the statement again is Gandhi has given it while doing the Dandi March of the civil disobedience movement, where he was publicly violating the salt law by manufacturing salt illegally in the sense of the British, okay, because British had made salt manufacturing as a monopoly of the government. No Indian was allowed to even manufacture salt. By doing so, Gandhi launched the Dandi March and the CDM, and it is in that context that he gave this statement called sedition has become my religion, because that's directly violating a law, right? So that's why he's saying so. And this is such an easy question from ancient India, and I think even the beginner who has not even done full coaching and all studies will be able to answer this question. The famous female figurine known as the dancing girl found at Mohenjo-daro is made of. Direct answer for that is bronze, and I hope that there is no explanation that's required for that. This might be a slightly difficult question because again, it's a very related thing. Chauri Chaura incident, we all know. And the question is asking, who provided the legal defense to the people arrested in the aftermath of Chauri Chaura incident? Now, that's a common incident we all know, but then unfortunately, we may not really find the exact names of the people who provided this defense. Okay. And the answer will be Madan Mohan Malaviya and Krishna Kant. These are the people who actually provided the defense to those people who were arrested in the Chauri Chaura incident. I hope you all remember Chauri Chaura incident 1922, with which the non-cooperation movement was suspended by Gandhi. Next, again a question on Gandhi. Subsequent to which one of the following events, Gandhiji, who consistently opposed untouchability and appealed for its eradication from all spheres, decided to include the upliftment of Harijans in his political and social program? Direct answer is A. Pune Pact. The Pune Pact was between Gandhi and Ambedkar, and these two people, you have all seen the debate while studying the national movement. Okay, and Ambedkar's demand was that the Dalits, or the depressed classes, whom we call today as the scheduled castes, he wanted them to be given separate electorates, but Gandhi was quite opposite to it. And the reasons and all, again, those are all something as a part of the course that we do. The basic point right now is, yes, after the deal, Ambedkar was denied, or the scheduled caste, the Dalits were denied the separate electorates, and that came because of the pressure from Gandhi. So Gandhi, in order to pacify the Dalits, he started this campaign called the Harijan campaign. So that's again a straightforward question that you will find there. And the last question that we have is again a very, very straightforward question, which is coming from Modern India Social Justice Reform Movements chapter. Who among the following was the founder of the self-respect movement? No need to even look at all these options. Directly, the answer is Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. Fine. With this, we end this session, and I hope this session you found it useful. And do not waste too much of time preparing, waiting for your results and all. If you feel that you have done decently well enough, I'll say you should start your preparation for the mains. And even in case you do not clear or get your desired results, still there is nothing lost. The preparation must be on. Thank you so much. See you again. Bye.